pounds and chatting.
That's not what I put on the stream. I literally just changed it in the stream manager. That's not what I put on the stream. I literally just changed it in the stream manager. That's not what I put on the stream. I literally just changed it in the stream manager. Successfully updated. I don't know what's going on with that. Hey. What's up, everybody? We're live. Let me just get situated a little bit more. Kind of not feeling super great today, but we're gonna do it anyway. Always feel like you're at, but refuse to do anything and just cry about it, you'll never get anything done. So we showed up, we're ready to hike. We're gonna push through this. You know, I know it can feel a little bit overwhelming sometimes. I don't particularly feel very confident in myself right now, but it's okay. Okay, here we go. Got the golf umbrella to protect ourselves from the sun, because I've been doing a lot of outdoors hiking, and
Space Duck said good hello to you.
Hey, what's up?
I saw one of your Twitch story posts once and you said that you missed me. So I popped in to say, hello. Please enjoy today's exercise sessions, if you like.
Yeah. It's not Lorraine. Wait, are you Space Ducks? Space Ducks! I miss you so much. Thank you for coming back. Yeah, rebeccaloran. It's not Lorraine, it's Lauren. You know, like sometimes I can kind of just... Oh, wow, you've been here all along. Yeah, I'm like out trying to get some outdoor adventures, getting some exercise. I got the backpack. I don't have it fully weighted. The other day on Friday, I did a fully weighted, like 33-pound ruck on a manual treadmill. Today, just kind of walking around and hiking. I'm on campus right now, but we might hike around into different areas. Especially as today's Sunday, usually there's no bathrooms here, so I'm gonna have to like hike around elsewhere, to find somewhere where that has restrooms. But I need to redo my hair. Kind of not feeling too great today. I feel really depressed, but it's okay. We're getting out anyway. Hope you're doing well.
Glad you have been getting out and about doing some exercise. I should really do the same thing. Sorry to hear about the big sad depressed that you have also. I have recently been watching World of Warcraft streamers going over to old school RuneScape.
Yeah, that's I'm not really in a gaming kind of, I'm more like, it's like I'm playing World of Warcraft, but in real life. That's kind of where I am. Like we're putting that energy that I would put into video games, I'm putting that into the real life. Is this the real life? Yeah, I started like kind of realizing this morning that I need to start building up like a repertoire again, and like I really need to put myself out there. And this fall I want to audition. Like I want to audition for a play, especially a musical. And I think, so I started practicing a new song this morning from a musical, and like that's really what's gonna push me through everything, is like getting back into the community, working with people. I'm gonna go back to school this fall, regardless of whether or not I audition. I'm going to audition.
High School Musical.
Not High School Musical, but I don't even know what music. I don't know what productions they're gonna plan. I think they release it on August 1st. I'll know what the productions are for this fall. But I think what's gonna happen first is they post the productions and the audition schedule on August 1st, and so I'm going to have to look those up in a couple weeks. And then I'm preparing some, like usually an audition, they can say like, oh, you don't have to have any experience, you can just sing Happy Birthday. It's like, no, I'm a trained musician, so I can prepare something better than just Happy Birthday. Okay, like I'm going to prepare something that matches, like, that showcases my range, showcases my acting ability, prepare a monologue. I already have a monologue prepared, but I'd have to re-prepare it. And I can always learn more monologues. But taking the acting class, that means that regardless of whether or not I get a part, I'll have something going on. To learn and work with people. And last time I really tried to stay to myself, and people, I just kind of, life happens. It's like you try to go into situations with like an intention of like keeping to yourself, but life kind of just happens, and people tried to connect with me, and I was a little bit overwhelmed by it. I'm not used to social situations as much as I used to, and especially since transitioning, and so things were really overwhelming last year. Things were really overwhelming. I feel like I ruined my reputation. I don't think I'm that important. I don't think people even really felt like... People kept insisting that I wasn't doing anything wrong. So I don't know why I keep feeling like somehow I was ruining my life by living life and making mistakes.
Jorny got digital art pie.
Hey, welcome back, Jorny. Just talking about how like this coming semester I really want to get back into acting. And getting back into the community. And over time, I hope I can, get involved with the local theater community. There's a lot of life to live in theater. It's it's kind of my calling, is performance art. It's been my calling my whole entire life.
It all seems very positive, getting out and about, exercising, getting involved in the community. I am happy for you. Many Twitch people seem to be somewhat shut in. They should do the same as you, perhaps.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't like getting to a place where I start comparing myself to others. Because then what happens is I start to feel like high and mighty. Like I'm not, like, I don't like feeling like that. I think it is important to compare yourself to yourself. And when you see, like, me in the past, I would kind of just be a shut-in, but I have a pattern of always trying to push myself. Like this is a real pattern. Like this is a real pattern of like self-improvement that I notice, and it's like I keep accusing myself of not doing anything, but like it's like I push myself to take the acting class and get involved and meet people. Like I helped people outside of class. Like I was part of someone's film production. I didn't really do much, but like I'm in the credits, and she misspelled my name, but that's not really the point. That's just the nitty gritty. The fact that I like went to Napa to help one of my classmates, and then it's like I kind of didn't really navigate that social connection very well. Maybe that's not 100% my fault. Maybe life just kind of happens for people, and I was a new person, and so it's like I don't really want to take it personally. I think I did okay. And then I met a few people through that person, and I made a little bit of a misjudgment with some guy that ended up being kind of creepy. And I didn't realize this was the person that they had warned me about. I think they warned me about him. Actually, no, I think maybe they were talking. I don't think I did anything wrong. I think I'm just imagining it. And it's like, I think it's just my mind needs something to feel like I need to do something better. And it's like, no, sometimes you do everything right. And like, it's not really about me. It's just how life goes sometimes. Trying to hold an umbrella while I'm holding the selfie stick. It's a little bit awkward. I do need to find a better way to hold the umbrella. Like, I think I could somehow attach it to my backpack. I don't know. It's an ongoing thing. Like, if I lean it up against my shoulder, it kind of hurts. Like, might be like a little bit raw against my collarbone. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But it does keep the sun away from me. Don't want to age my skin too much. I mean, it's gonna happen. What was that? Yeah, I don't know. Real life stuff is difficult for me. I am very... I have a hard time with social situations and understanding how to navigate social situations. I'm autistic. It's really hard. It's hard for anybody. But it's like really hard for me. Especially since I hadn't like really gone back to really try to become a part of the community like the past like several years. And so, now I'm navigating the world perceived as female. And that's like a bit different. It's been a really difficult 6 years. And maybe I'm not like fully giving myself credit for all the work I've done. Because, it hasn't always been perfect, but I keep getting back up. I keep trying. Like, that's the pattern of behavior that I think I need to lock onto. The pattern of behavior that I have is that I keep trying. That I'm like, hey, like, what can I do better? What did I do wrong? Like, what do you, like, some of it's opinions. Some of them, like, are more objective. But, I need to actually, like, gather that data, and that's what I just kind of naturally do. It's for survival. Like, I've learned how to mask pretty well as I was growing up, and when I got the autism diagnosis, I started to, and especially as I started transitioning, I started to really unmask. And it's a little scary when you start to really allow yourself to be who you are and not like psychoanalyze. Like a really rough battle, because it's like you're so used to trying to not ruin your reputation, not ruin your life. And then what happens is things happen, and then you kind of like, I kind of take everything out of proportion, and I start like being really tough on myself. Like really tough on myself. Like I did pretty good last year. I only missed like I think one day because I was legitimately sick and I didn't want to, I just couldn't go to class. Like I was just that sick. It wasn't COVID, but it was like, I shouldn't go to class when I'm sick anyway. It'll get other people sick. But I was like legitimately like, I can't make it today. And I had to go home early once. And it was at the recommendation of my teacher because I was just having such a big meltdown. I was doing a lot. It had just been, like at that point, like 6 or 7 months after the surgery. Actually, no, the surgery was at the end of, it was basically, at the beginning, it was at March 28th. Semester started at the end of August. Or mid-August, somewhere in there. And what that's like, so let's say March 28th, April, May, June, July. It had been like 5 months. It had only been about 5 months since this big major life change. And I had already been pushing myself to go back to school. To like go like interact with people who were all in their like 20s. Who had been like regularly involved with the community. People who have been like in acting and theater like their whole entire lives. And I was like comparing myself to them. I'm like, how am I ever going to live up to them? Like these people have been going to theater classes for years. And I'm just brand new. And, I'm not brand new though, because I have a background in music. That is a huge plus. There's a lot of things about performance that are universal that you just can't skip. And that I just have to focus on the, on the specifics to acting. I don't have to relearn things about performance. That's actually like a huge deal. But even then, I'm not even trying to think about the actual craft. Like if I'm just thinking about like, hey, like it's a plus if I get really good at acting, but that's like a long-term endeavor, and it's not really the real reason I went back to school was so that I could be around people again. That's really big deal. Like most people are too afraid to do that. Like Space Duck said earlier, like most people on Twitch are shut-ins. And it's like, I understand why, and I don't judge people because it's so scary. Like, it's so scary to actually put yourself out there. And, you just keep trying. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And you learn a little bit each time. It's just like exercising. Like, when you first start exercising, if you're not careful, you can risk an injury. But at first you kind of experience like, okay, like, how do I need to like hold my posture? Like you kind of learn these things over time. And you get used to it. You learn things. And every single time you collect data, you get better. And it's just like, I need to treat like social situations the same way. And also like, I think like, at the beginning of the semester last year, I set like an intention of not socializing, but it kind of just happened. And I didn't fight it, but then it's like I took risks by trying to because then it's like, well, I felt comfortable. Like, I felt safe. And then I felt like I got punished for taking, social risks. Trying to make friends, texting people, and then feeling like they didn't really want me around. And also someone in my class had said that she wanted to connect to me on Instagram. That was the woman I helped with her film, and she was like really encouraging me. She was like, like I can help you become a model, and I'm like, I think I got a little bit too ahead of myself, and then I feel like I kind of ruined ruined my reputation by being a little bit too eager. But maybe it's not like that. Maybe, I didn't do anything like super terrible. Like, in fact, if anything, I was a victim of like a creepy guy who was like trying to connect with me in order to connect to like her and some other women that he was like really like sexually inappropriate, and he was like trying to get closer to all these women by spamming a whole bunch of Instagram profiles and like connecting. And I think he took advantage of my my career path. But I kind of saw that, like, I kind of anticipated like that he was like just, I felt like I was actually in more control than I was. But then it's like, that's why I ended up in the psych ward. I was like a little bit afraid of like what I was doing. I'm taking like genuine risks, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but for me that was like a really big scary thing, especially since I was like, I think the biggest thing was because I was smoking a lot of weed. I just can't smoke weed. It puts me in a huge like psychosis, and I start to really like make, I wouldn't say bad decisions, but I start to make decisions that are not the best. And I start behaving like really erratically. And I don't know, I don't think my reputation is irreparable. I keep feeling like I'm gonna get canceled. Like I have this hard time like existing on this planet. But I think I'll find a good balance. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm really gonna make an effort again this fall. Take that next acting class and really try and like go for an audition or two, even if I don't get the part. Like, just going through the audition process is valuable. Like, that's valuable experience. Preparing for an audition, that's like, music goes, that's something that I never really did either. I was working on memorization as well. Like, memorization is important. And like, I had never really gotten to a point where I've truly been able to memorize anything musically. And I don't know, this morning I started working on a song to sing. It was Changing My Major.
Rebecca Lauren says that she has a hard time existing on this planet. Sometimes the space duck can relate to this statement. Perhaps some other people on this planet can relate also.
True. So there's a musical that's about a woman telling her story of discovering herself as a lesbian. And I really related to the character. And so there's a song called Changing My Major. And it's a play called Fun Home. And I think I could learn that. I have the technical ability. I just don't know if I sound very good. But I have the pitch range. I just need to practice and prepare it for an audition. And I think I need to prepare a monologue again. I have a good monologue I used that I learned and performed for my theater class last year. And I could relearn that, rememorize it, and use that as my audition. I think it's generally good to express your full range of ability. Which is like when you're picking something for using at an audition, you're not necessarily trying to showcase like how good you are. You're trying to showcase what your skills are, which is a very different kind of thing. I think they kind of overlap, but like you want to pick a song that truly showcases what your abilities are. So I don't know if that's the best song to audition with, but it's a start. Because it's very lyrical, but it's also kind of performative. Like there's some moments where it's like mixes in like more spoken lines. And it's very like vocal, very, very like flexible vocal range. So it like showcases like my more like higher tenor to like alto and soprano range, which is something that I'm like really wanting to develop as a singer, because I was trained as a tenor, and coming into myself as a woman, I really feel kind of sad that my singing voice is not where I want it to be. But I have to start somewhere. I have to start with trying. Like, that's the important part. And yeah, like right now, like, even though I kind of wanted to just, like, I was like, hey, no, like, I made this endeavor. I'm not going to back down on my word. I set myself a goal to go IRL streaming with the backpack, and to be more physically active, but also out about in the world, and instead of being a shut-in. And that's how you do it. It's scary, but like that's actually how it gets done. You know, you have to actually try. And I think people start to notice that. If you do that enough times, if you go out there and put yourself out into the world, especially if you're like auditioning for parts, you might not always get the part. But I can sure as hell try. You know, I might not be the best part for whatever particular, for any, you know, part in a play, you know, because maybe, not every part matches. I can't play every single role. You know, like there's going to be people that are, it's just, I am a little bit older. I do think that I'm kind of young for my age, but there's a limit to that. Okay, like, let's be real. However, I don't think that's a huge barrier for me personally. I think the biggest barrier that and I shouldn't even really be thinking about stuff like that. That's like not in my control. What is in my control is I can prepare a solid audition, and if there's a part that I can fit, then they would find a part for me. I don't care. I don't need to be the star. Or maybe I am the star. I don't know. Why shouldn't I be? Just because I'm in my 30s? Like 37? I mean, that's not the end of the world. Especially, sometimes older characters are the stars. Like I have like quite a wide range of performance options. I can play like, characters my age. I could play characters like within reason younger than me. Like there's a certain point where it's just like I can't pull off playing too young of a character. Although I did play a 19-year-old character in my acting class. I think we were both like 18-year-olds. So I mean, there's really no reason why I should limit myself. Like it's called acting. You're performing. You know, you don't have to be the person that you're performing as. That's the whole point. You're taking on a role. But that still doesn't mean every role is right for me. But I can at least develop my skills and try. And people are going to be helping me out. They're going to find where I fit in. If they're saying, "Hey, like, this is your style. Like, these are characters that we think that you would excel in." Because they'd want me to, if people wanted to work with me, it's not a one-way street. Like, people will generally try to work with you and help you. Like, they will cater, not cater, but they will tend to your ability. Because they want you to succeed. Because it means they also succeed. It's mutual. I think, like, when you're truly collaborating with people, it's like the greatest thing in the world. And I keep dreaming of a life where I get to collaborate with other people and truly matter and like truly belong. It's something that's been important to me for my entire life. And I'm only just now feeling like it might be possible. And I think the depression I feel is because I actually don't feel like it might, like there's a part of me that believes that it's too late. But I know that's hogwash. Like, why would it be too late for me? There's people twice my age who are just starting out as models or actors. People in my industry as well. So it's like I have no excuse except for I need to ask myself, what do I truly want? And I think I'm like on the right path. Like, I think I truly am on the right path. But it doesn't quite feel like I've found it yet. And I need to keep trying, because if I don't, I would never forgive myself. Let's see how long we've been going. 30 minutes already. Okay, let's kind of find a place to kind of relax a bit. Here we go. I think this is a good spot, I think. Oh, see, I should have brought the extender. I could have put it through here, I think. But it's okay. I can just hold on to it. Plugged in. So I can unplug that for a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of it is like, I don't particularly really know like what's possible. And I feel really like, I feel a lot of like self-consciousness about my appearance. I need to get over it, because there's a lot of people, I know that like it's a really kind of rough time right now for trans people, but there's a lot more forward momentum for, people, casting trans people, in productions. This might be the perfect time for me to be alive. I just don't know yet. And I think like I need to stop selling myself short. And also like, kind of accept, that like I have things about my appearance I may not find are like perfect, but everybody feels that way. You kind of have to just get over it and just kind of accept who you are a little bit more. But I think that like I feel like
said, why do I feel this is a YouTube video?
Why do you feel this is a YouTube video? I don't know. Probably because I don't know why. Why do you think it's a YouTube video? I'm taking a little bit of a break from the hike. Hope you're doing well, Hussein.
I thought thought it was pre-recorded.
Nope, not pre-recorded. I'm just very talkative.
How are you? Hope you doing well.
I'm okay. I'm just kind of depressed. I feel like my life is kind of frozen in place right now. I went through like a really difficult past couple of years. You know, I went through gender confirming surgeries, and then like last year I tried taking an acting class and I was really overwhelmed by it. But here's the thing I need to remember is I didn't quit. I kept going, even when it felt like I was like, you know, not belonging, even though people kept insisting I belonged. Even when I felt like I was making mistakes, even when I felt like I was ruining my reputation or I was going to get canceled, I kept going. And maybe it didn't turn out the way I wanted, but it was only one semester. And there's a million people out there that, you know, it's like I belong in the community. And so this next semester I want to actually try auditioning for one of the productions. Or both. I'm going to audition.
It will get better, just trust the process.
Yeah, trust the process. I know that. I think that also like just getting myself out there to just do what I can control. Like I'm able to audition for something. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to get the part, but at least I can push myself to do it. And it makes me stronger. I learn from it. Oh, and I forgot to fill both my water bottles. Okay, let's get going again. Okay. Yeah, I'm having a little bit of a rough time, but you know, I push through things. That's what I do. I push through even when it doesn't look like things are going to work out. And then things, you know, interestingly end up working out. Like I made my surgeries happen, right?
If you didn't get it, now you will do it next time.
Yeah.
It's possible that's what makes us humans.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, there's also things that are not even about me. Like, I might not be the best person for a given role. Or you know, they might not have a role for me. You know, at least in that production. I need to clip on the other part. Both my hands are used because I'm holding the umbrella. How about I switch shoulders to hold the umbrella on? It's like kind of hurting my collarbone a little bit. Yeah, I don't have the full 33 pounds in the backpack. On Friday, I did 33 pounds on a manual treadmill incline, 13.5%, for an hour with 33 pounds in the backpack. I weigh 158.4, so that was like 20%. I think that was 20% of my body weight. Yeah, I mean that would be 33 times 5 or whatever. Right? Because 20 goes into 105 times.
Hiking where? Like on mountains or where?
No, I'm just at like the junior college campus. It's a Sunday, so it's pretty closed. I don't have to go to the bathroom, so it's like it shouldn't be, and there's like a Safeway nearby, but there's no bathrooms open on the weekends. And I think it's like real summer now. But at the same time, like they keep the offices open and stuff during the weekday. But today's Sunday. But I mean, if it was completely closed, they wouldn't have let me buy a parking pass permit. And there's like construction and stuff.
Brew weekends on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday's a weekend. I think it's just like a lot of the reason why I get so much anxiety and like depression is because I don't have any information through interaction with other people. And so I think I'm going to feel a lot better once the semester starts. Whenever I have something to focus on and when it's like, I feel like I'm doing something, and it is valuable. Like taking an acting class, probably one of the best things I could do. Especially as somebody who's a performer. I'm a performance artist. And it's like I need to I need to tend to that skill. I need to feed into that. I need to develop it. And also there's a lot of social interaction involved when going back to school. And, there's people of all ages going through, theater. People twice my age, people half my age.
Why don't you go to the gym now or any other sport? Changed my life 'cause it's like new routine and it makes you feel better.
Yeah, that would be something. I'm not particularly ready for that kind of commitment. I'm autistic, and I kind of have to work within my wheelhouse. It takes me a lot of time and effort to really get into new things. I like pickleball, but I don't really have anybody to play with. I need to meet new people. It's really tough. It's really tough. I mean, I could try getting a gym membership one of these days. I don't think now's the right time. I think I need to focus on just doing what I can. I'm pretty active on my own, so that's not really the problem. I think going back to school this semester in the fall.
You have to lose?
It's not really
Why not?
It's not really what I have to lose. It's that it's just really hard for me. I'm autistic. It's like really, really, really hard. I don't like making excuses, but I also am very realistic and I understand what my limitations are. I try to push myself when I can, but I don't know how to express to just how nearly impossible it is for me to do certain things right now. I am in a very, very vulnerable state of existence right now, where I feel so, I feel extremely incapable. And so I need to focus on what I can do. And so going out for exercising and hiking, that's something that makes me feel a lot more confident. It takes me a very long time to feel confident enough to try things. I understand a lot of people try to push people. I know you're just trying to help. But I don't think you know what I'm up against.
I really hope everything gets better for you.
Yeah, I'm going to be working with a coach for, relationship and like sexuality. I'm connected to a North Bay Regional Center, and they're supposedly looking, I'm connected to like a housing coalition that is trying to find me a new place to live, because I'm living with my dad in a trailer. Things are not working out with that trailer. I've been living there for 10 years and I feel miserable. And I don't feel like my life is ever going to be okay. But these people, they said they're going to help me live a better life because I have a developmental disorder. And they said they're, like my case manager at the housing coalition is putting me on wait lists, and he says he will be able to get me a new apartment. He just doesn't know when. And that's terrifying me. I don't know how long this is going to take. And I feel like I'm completely hopeless. Because it's like I don't know how I'm ever going to get out of that trailer without any help. And I asked for help, and they said, oh, because you're developmentally disordered, once you become a client for life, you have a developmental disorder, and you need help. You need like coaching, you need specialized training, because you have a disorder. And I'm just waiting for that to all start. It's been a year. I had like an ILS coach, but I don't think he was prepared enough to work with me. He ended up quitting on me.
You waited 10 years living in the trailer. Now you have help. Even if it takes months, it will come.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been a whole year that they said they would help me, and they still haven't. But I have to just trust the process. And so, I'm focusing on what I can. Like my fitness, like that's like the most...
It was nice to meet you. I have to go out for dinner.
Oh, well, I appreciate you. Fitness has been like the most like confidence that I've had. In order to get my bottom surgery, I had to like really lock that in, like with like extremely strict like health, like diet. Like I had an insanely good diet with like full like protein profile, like low glycemic index carbohydrates like oatmeal and like bananas or like apples or oranges were like the only carbs that I really had. I'm diabetic, so like the doctor didn't want to perform the surgery until my A1C was below 7, and it was at 7.2. So in a single month, I got it down to 6.7. And it's because I went for an hour-long walk every day. Some days a week, I would go for an hour run, or I would go for a 1 to 2 hour bike ride. But I was like pretty damn consistent, and I got the surgery to happen, and I was like recovering like really quickly. Like for a diabetic, I was like doing better than a non-diabetic. Like I was pretty damn proud of myself, and this is pretty much like health and fitness has been like the only real thing that's like kept me going. And regardless of what happens in your life, you have nothing if you don't have your health. So that's why no matter what, I know that I have a solid foundation, that I'm really strong. And with the social skills part of it, I'm gonna be getting coaching. And the toughest one I have is like relationships, like friendships, but also like sexual partners.
Mystery Bot said YouTube. Jorny got digital art tied.
Hey, Jorny. And having this relationship coach is gonna kind of help me, I think. Because especially since I'm going to be going back to school again. Like, no matter how much I feel like I'm failing, you're never failing if you get back up on the horse. Like I fall down, but then I dust myself off, and maybe I'm not even falling down. Maybe I only think I'm falling down, but it does feel like I'm falling down. But I fall, and then I get back up, and then I get back on the horse, and I keep going. That's a huge pattern of mine. And eventually that's going to work out for me. And I'm going to get into a new rhythm. I'm going to be able to get out of that trailer. I'm going to have my own apartment. And I'm going to be able to become a part of the community. And have friends. Maybe even have a partner. Like a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I don't know about that, but that would be nice if I met somebody that wanted to be with me. I feel so lonely, but I'm gonna be okay. I'm not a loser, and I'm not a bad person, and I deserve to be loved, and I will find it. It's been almost an hour. I think we need to go home. We might cut out a bit when I get into the parking garage. And then we'll drive home. I don't have to do like a million things today. The fact that I left the house and went for a nice walk with the backpack, that's enough. Like, I don't need to overdo it. I'm gonna be okay. I know it doesn't like always feel like it, but I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna find my place in the world. I'm gonna find my people. I'm gonna be happy someday. I'm gonna have people to, you know, hold me and, you know, like comfort me, and I'm gonna find my someone. I don't know like what that's gonna look like, but I'm not really like trying to find any kind of specific you know, outcome, because that would be insane. You know, I'm not looking for a boyfriend-free girl or a girlfriend-free boy. We're not doing that. Those who know. Okay, hopefully we don't get cut out. Kind of was nice with the umbrella. It also gives me like an easy way to like kind of block out the background in case like I want to be more anonymous.
Transformative said hola amiga.
Hola amiga, ¿cómo estás? We're going back home for a bit. Or maybe I want to try like staying out of the home, out of my house for longer. No, I need to go home and lie down. I'm tired. I almost wasn't even going to go on a workout today.
Where is your house?
Let me give you the exact geographic coordinates.
In what country?
I'm in the United States. I'm in like the San Francisco Bay Area. Okay. I need to.
I am from Argentina.
Argentina? Nice.
The other side of the world.
Yikes. Yeah, you're on the southern hemisphere. I'm in the northern hemisphere. Okay, let's get it started in here. It's not the lyrics. I mean, that's like the same idea, right? Like whenever they censor like a radio edit for like a song, it's like the same general idea. Sometimes like I actually prefer the radio edit version because it's just like sometimes there's really not any reason to just be so like have more like kind of swear words. I don't understand this whole obsession people have with like swear words. Like, you'll show, like, movies with, like, people shooting guns and stuff.
What song are you going to play?
I don't know. I'm not going to play any song, right now. But you know how, like, it's like you'll have movies that have, like, people shooting guns and, like, getting killed and doing drugs, but then they'll censor out the word fuck. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why are people so obsessed with filtering out language? There was a song on the radio that was like someone south of something goes dropping, my panties are dropping, but they would just completely cut out the panties are dropping part. I'm like, dude, like, you're basically not, you may as well not even play the song.
I like how your hair looks.
You like my hair? I don't always like my appearance. I feel like I could do better. My breasts are a little small too. When I can afford it, I want to get the Eve bra system and go up a full cup size. But it would take like 6 months. And it's like $3,000. So I can't really afford that right now. But one day I would like to...
It doesn't matter. To me, you were beautiful.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. It's not really about that, though.
Stay here with me for the rest of the semester. We won't need any food. We'll live on sex alone. Sex with Joan. I am writing a thesis on Joan. It's a cutting edge field and my mind is blown. I will gladly stay up every night to hone my compulsory skills with Joan. I would study my way down her spine, familiarize myself with her well-made outline, while she researches mine. I don't know who I am. I've become someone new. Nothing I just did is anything I could do. Overnight, everything changed. I am not prepared.
Is it music from a movie?
I'm dizzy. I'm nauseous. I'm shaky.
Yeah, for some reason it's still playing. I closed YouTube.
I'm scared.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, I was wondering, I thought that was from the radio for a second. I'm like, really? Are they playing the song that I was working on this morning? And I'm like, no, it was because I plugged in my phone. I generally don't do music while I do my stream IRL, because it's like, I want to learn that song because it's going to really push me past my normal vocal range, and it's going to really, like, I think it's a really good song for an audition because it really showcases, like, my personality. And it's a character going through a journey that I went through myself.
It's true, there is nothing sweeter than hearing your voice.
Aw. Yeah, I mean, like, I kind of, like, I need to slow down a little bit. I think a lot of the problems I have are that I think I'm trying to do too much too fast with things. And it's like, no, I need to just, like, kind of slow down. And, like, slower is actually better. Like, it's actually faster. Like, slower is actually faster. Okay, we're gonna go home. I mean, here's the thing, it's like you have to, when you pay for a parking permit here, it's $4 and you can stay until 11:59 p.m. The campus is technically closed on the weekend, but I mean, people park here on the weekend sometimes.
Did you know that on this day, man landed on the moon? Did they land on the moon?
Damn. Damn. Well, wasn't the moon landing fake? I heard that from... when I get home... I think I need to eat lunch. Yeah, I don't know. I know I talk a lot about, like, how things seem like they're, like, not going to work out, but
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you with nonsense.
No, it's all good. I like it. It's part of the chaos. It's why I like live streaming. It's why I have you plugged into the speaker. If you were a problem, I would mute you. It's part of the streaming experience. It's like what kind of makes it so cool, in my opinion, is that it's not just me talking to the YouTube video. Like, every now and then people pop in and we can talk about stuff. I'm pretty physically active, so I think the health and fitness category is good for me. Because I have a lot of, I can also talk a lot about health and fitness. Like, I think like staying on, obviously I don't think anyone really truly cares like what category you're in. I'm well past that. Twitch does not give a fuck, okay, like what category you're in. I need to stop thinking about that. That's thinking way too small. I need to think more big picture. That like, I'm an IRL streamer. I'm pretty damn sure that's my calling. I have a lot of, as for this like autistic person who feels like she's like a complete shut-in, I actually am very like involved with social interactions, and like I'm really much so like a part of the world. I'm like very down to earth and like very like well balanced as a human being. Like I'm actually pretty good at being a human. Like I've served long, like at the very least. But also like there's a lot of stuff that I don't give myself credit for. Like I have social skills, and I don't think I truly like recognize it in myself. I keep like always pushing to be better. I think like the biggest issue I truly have though is not really about whether or not I have skills, it's applying them. And staying like, you know, staying consistent with things. You know, I think like exercise is a really good place to start because it's something that I can completely control. Like we walked around for about like 50 minutes. Like that's a big deal. And I had the backpack on. It wasn't the heaviest, but it was still like 12.5% body weight. But even if I wasn't walking with the backpack, even if I was just walking normally, that's a big deal. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying too hard to like stay. I mean, it's kind of a good exercise for me, like mentally, to talk about health and fitness. I mean, it's a small category, and I do try to adhere to the Twitch rules of like, you know, like staying on topic. But here's the thing: is like nobody really cares what if what you're doing matches the category. Like there's like, what was it, Arcane or whatever? There was like a category where literally nobody in the category was actually streaming the game. It's kind of like a meme in the streamer in the streaming world. Is like there are people in the category who are literally just like they're in health and fitness, but they're just like playing like League of Legends. I mean, I guess it practices your vocal cords for screaming. That's a workout, right? Yeah, I just try not to think about the category too much. Like, I'm going to stick with the health and fitness category since most of the time when I'm doing IRL streaming, I'm backpacking, like I'm rucking. I got weight in my backpack. Like, you know, that's a strong, solid workout, okay? Like we're not just IRL streaming, we're exercising. So I think health and fitness is a great category for that. And I also do dance or yoga or other things. I feel empty inside lately. I feel like I can't stop feeling like my life is already over. I've been working with my therapist to like stop feeling that way, but it keeps feeling like my life is over. Maybe it's just because I'm still grieving the fact that I like got through all the surgery process. It was a big deal. Like, gender confirming surgery is not an easy thing to do, and I'm still. It's a lot of uncharted territory for me. I feel like a new person, and that's kind of.
What would you recommend to a person who doesn't have the discipline to play sports?
Just start with anything you can possibly do to start something. Like, if you normally don't do anything, start with walking. Like, no matter what you're going to do, you're going to need to have cardiovascular fitness. You're going to need to start with walking. You want to develop consistency rather than like you don't need to like be going out on like 4-hour hikes. Like, you can go on like a 10-minute walk. Like, in fact, even if you want to just march in place in your room for 5 minutes with a timer, that's where you want to start. You want to, if you're trying to train your discipline, that's where you're going to start.
Stream Elements said rebeccaloran is now live, streaming fitness and health, hiking around campus.
I guess we like got disconnected for a short second. What you want to start out doing is you want to start like set a timer for 5 minutes and just do something physically active for 5 minutes. And then when the alarm goes off, stop. And you can go past that, but like the whole purpose of the exercise is to start, do the thing, and then stop. And then you want to do that more and more and more. Like, just go 5-minute bursts. If you can't do 5 minutes, do 30 seconds. Like, do jumping jacks for 30 seconds. Like, even if you can only do 30 seconds of jumping jacks a day, if you do that like 5 days a week, and you're building like a foundation for yourself, that you're going to build that up. It's like a video game. You got to level it up. So you start with just 30 seconds of calisthenics, like jumping jacks. But then maybe you move into 30 seconds of jumping jacks, a few deep breaths, and then you do 30 seconds more of jumping jacks. Or you do some planks, or you do like push-ups. Like, you just want to gradually add things. It's almost like you're unlocking them. And once you're physically capable of handling like an hour of running, like, you might be able to start doing sports like as you go. But like, if you're really concerned with like long-term discipline for any kind of sport, you're going to need to be able to run for an hour. If you can't run for an hour, nothing else you do matters. So you need to reach that point, and you're going to start with just 30 seconds of jumping jacks. If you can't do 30 seconds, do 15 seconds. If you can't do 15 seconds, do 10 seconds. Do 5 seconds. Do 1 second of jumping jacks. Come on, you can do that. And if you can't do that, then you're going to have to start getting up towards the place where you can. And that's going to be the loop that you go through. You're going to go through a loop of self-strengthening. Of like, if you can't do that, of self-strengthening. Of like, what's the thing that are the easiest to do is to eat stuff. Or eat less of stuff. Like, you don't have to do anything differently, you just have to eat. Like that, it might, just...
Transformative said, how many kilometers do you travel in an hour?
I don't try to think about it that way, but in an hour, I can do about 3 miles of walking. I don't really keep track of distance when it's not really about distance for me, it's about time. You need to keep your heart rate up. Stop thinking. I mean, if it really helps you, then do it. If you like keeping a track of like, self-improvement through like, setting records, do that. If that's what helps you. If you're a very competitive person, do that. Whatever helps you. But for me, I prefer time. Like, I want to do 1 hour of walking without stopping. I want to do 1 hour of running with only...
I like how you explained it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it helps. But the biggest thing I can get across is that you want to do less.
Streaming said rebeccaloran is now live. Streaming fitness and health. Hiking around campus.
Yeah, that must have gone out a few times. Yeah, while I'm driving, there's like a couple spots where the network goes out. But mostly it's pretty stable. The biggest thing I can get across is you want to be consistent. Even because if you can do 5 minutes a day of marching in place, or like walking left, like walking to the left and walking to the right, like
Transformatate said what is time for you.
like an hour of walking a day is pretty damn solid. And maybe a rest, 6 days a week, or five to 6 days a week. You want a rest day where you just kind of like completely rest. Maybe do some light stretching, gentle movement, maybe walk for 15 minutes. But you want to get to the point where you're consistent more than anything. And if you can do you might be able to push yourself in the short term. But I've found that's sometimes really fun to do. But it's more important for me to keep showing up with anything you do, with writing, with walking, anything that you do, journaling. As far as writing goes, journaling is like you're walking with writing, skills. When you're journaling, you're using this.
Changing the subject. Do you have a boyfriend?
No, I don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I'm pansexual, so I don't really see relationships the same way as most people. I kind of see relationships as it's like a case-by-case basis. You kind of just, I kind of just, I don't really see it that way. I see it as, if I'm attracted to somebody, I just go from there. I don't see it as like I'm attracted to someone because they're masculine or because they're feminine or because they're male or female or trans or not. I don't really think of things that way. And that's, it took me a while to accept that I'm just pansexual. Sexuality is that's not a huge part of my identity. I don't define myself by my sexuality. So that to me is what pansexuality is. It's not like a huge part of my identity. It's just is. Sexuality is just a part of my life. And I like what I like and I don't like what I don't like. And that might change. And I don't really think about it. I don't think of myself as straight. I don't think of myself as gay. I don't really like labels, but if I'm going to say a label, then the label of non-labels is pansexual. It's basically a non-labeled sexuality is the name. Pan is it means everything, but it's not like bisexual. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't like thinking about it. It's just kind of makes me feel a little bit weird. I'm going to have lunch. I'm going to end the stream for now. I tried really hard to keep the stream going. But I'm just not really feeling great. But I tried. I mean, we went for an hour and 14 minutes. I walked for 50 minutes. That's solid. I was just going to go lie down and rest. But, I did some light exercise. That's really what it's all about. You want to be able to consistently show up. And the recommended for cardiovascular fitness is like an hour and a half a week of some kind of cardiovascular workout. That's definitely a goal. If that's not where you are, just find where you are and just try to get there. Try to get to the next step, no matter where you're at. And I don't know, maybe I need to be kinder to myself, because a lot of the times I'm kind of like comparing myself to others and not giving myself any kind of grace. Like, just because I'm not like, moving out of the trailer just yet, I'm working on it. The fact that I rounded up all these people on my team, to help me get there, that's a strength. That's a part of it. Like, that's a part of the process. I rounded up a team of people, like, for case management to help overcome my autism issues. Like, even though it's not happening as fast as I would like it to, at least it's moving forward. And even though I can't really make it go faster, I have run myself ragged trying to get my case manager to do more, but she can't. There's only so much they can do at a time. There's wait lists. And I just like, I'm really running myself ragged trying to do whatever I possibly can to make things happen faster. But I think I need to focus on the smaller things, like focusing on like, hey, like, I'm going to go get lunch. I'm going to rest. I'm going to read a book. I need to focus on those really small things. And it feels so empty to me. But the small things are what really matter. Even though it feels
Jeremy
like...
Call said compare yourself to others and you are in a losing position already, and hi from Denmark.
Exactly, and hi. From Denmark. Yeah, dare me call. I feel like I keep trying to find like huge, big things. Like, oh, I need to like, make it big and like do all these things and like, grow my modeling career and like, audition, as an actor and like become like this beautiful woman that the world sees as like this big giant like star. And it's like, why? Like, I mean, that could happen, but like, why am I setting myself up for disappointment when I'm like shooting for such a like high goal? I should, if I'm going to make that goal happen, I need to shoot for smaller goals, like daily goals, which I'm already doing, but I'm like kind of like dismissing them. It's like I'm doing the things. It'd be one thing if I wasn't doing the things. That would be a different kind of problem. If I wasn't doing anything to move my life forward, then I would just be a complaining loser. Which is not the end of the world either. That's a problem that I would have to overcome. But I'm not overcoming that particular problem. It seems like it, but that's because I keep moving the goalposts. It's that I'm holding myself up to such a high standard that I'm dismissing all the small things. I need to start celebrating the small things. I got out of the house today. I did an IRL stream and I hiked around campus. That's a big deal. Even if I did nothing else today, which is not possible because I'm alive, I'm going to be doing something.
Let's say you want to run 1 kilometer and you train for it. Do you focus on the goal or do you enjoy the running?
Yeah, just focus on the process. Exactly. Like, I like the idea of like, all the preparation. Like, okay, I got my gear ready. I got like the water with me. I like the way it makes me feel when I'm out on a run. I like knowing that I did something for my health. Like, there's long-term benefits to know that I actually did something, that instead of just doing nothing, it makes me feel less guilt. Once you're done with the run, it's almost kind of disappointing because then it's like, I just want to run more. But I have to stop or I'll get injured. And I'm sorry for being an American. I need to get into metric system. I want to switch over to the metric system. So that's a goal to have too. But I can't do that overnight. I would like to speak in kilometers, and like, grams and, or whatever, not grams.
Restreambot said, YouTube. High Life $813. Hello.
Hey, High Life.
YouTube. High Life $813. Miss you.
Yeah, I don't know.
YouTube. High Life $813. Dance videos.
Yeah, I'm trying to like, the thing is like, whenever I go out for a run, which hasn't been for quite a while, it won't be on stream. That's more of like a private thing. I mean, it's harder to do it a live stream. I would have to, I mean, I guess I could carry it in the, I would have to carry the hotspot in my pocket. But I mean, it's just, it wouldn't really be the greatest, to run, like do a jog, like while live streaming. But I would like to go running again. But it's hard on your joints. And so walking, especially load bearing, strengthening myself to gear up towards the running. And you only want to run like maybe 2 or 3 days a week. Like I would probably start out with only 1 day a week of running.
YouTube. High Life $813. I respect you live stream. Dare Me Call said I play chess and solve Sudoku.
Oh,
this my
nice.
creative side for sure.
Yeah, chess is great. I play chess. I haven't done a chess stream in a while. I'm trying to stay away from streaming from my desktop. And even then, I'm trying to stay away from doing like traditional streams, like video games or like, sharing my desktop or, doing React content. I'm trying to steer away from that for now. I'm trying to actually get out in the real world. So I'm actually accomplishing my goals, like pretty damn well. Like I'm setting goals and I'm meeting them. Like what more can you really ask for? Like, and then here's the thing is if you always try to shoot for goals, even important ones, I'm finding out, especially after I'm a trans woman, I got
Restroom said, YouTube. High Life $813. Stay away from negative people.
Yeah.
Jeremy Call said enjoy the journey.
Yeah. When I went through my transgender surgeries, I went through facial surgery. First I had orchiectomy, and then I had facial surgery, then I had vaginoplasty. And I finally reached all my goals as of 15 months ago. Like a year and a few months. And now I feel like this new emptiness. Not like regret. It's more of a grief for and this is not just about transness. This is for anybody who sets a big goal for years at a time. Like if you're trying to set a career goal, or you're trying to set some kind of you want to earn a certain amount of money, or or you want to reach a certain fitness goal or anything like that. Once you reach it, you're kind of now what? It's exciting and you're really proud of yourself. And you're glad that you did it. I respected myself. That's why I got the surgeries. And it was really important that I did it. But as soon as it happened, I'm there's a rush of we made it. When you run past a finish line, it's there's this rush of I made it. And then that kind of dies down. And then you're okay, well, when's the next one? Because you want more. But I don't want more surgeries, but I want more self-improvement. I'm kind of addicted to it, which is kind of a problem. It's an addiction just like anything else. I could be constantly chasing self-improvement for the rest of my life and never be satisfied. The cool thing about self-improvement, though, is that at least you're improving things. And those have real, tangible results in your life. So it's a better place to be than not trying at all. It's a good addiction to have as far as addictions go, but it still is an addiction, and it can also have negative effects on your life. But I'm always trying to find the next battle. I'm always trying to find the next hurdle, the next thing to jump over, and it's moving the goalposts. And the thing about I think to answer your question, it's I really just I'm trying to learn how to just really enjoy the process of things.
What about the big goal? Happiness.
Yeah. And I try to be happy in the small things. That's where it's you're going to find the most fulfillment, I think. Is when you find happiness in the everyday small things, enjoying the fact that there's a nice sunshine. And that even though it's kind of warm, I kind of like the feeling of the warmth. That we went on a small hike. Yeah, it is small. 50 minutes to an hour is not small. That is a full ass workout. And for me, I was like, that was like nothing. I keep moving the goalposts. What, do I have to go on 4-hour hikes with like 50 pounds in my backpack to feel like I'm doing something? Like that, you're going to keep moving the goalposts for the rest of your life if you keep doing that. It doesn't mean you shouldn't. I think it's good to keep pushing yourself. It keeps things exciting. But I also think, like, if you want to look for happiness, you need to find it in the little teeny small things, like enjoying a cup of tea. Like enjoying like the silence, or enjoying the music, or enjoying like a movie that you like, or a TV show that you like, or like reading a book, or, enjoying like a favorite food, or just enjoying the fact that you're alive, and just really appreciating all the people in your life. Like these small things that are actually not so small. That's where I am right now. I'm in a new stage in my life where I'm trying to find appreciation in the small things. And it's really hard. Because when you've been pushing yourself for so long for insane goals.
The ones who are climbing without safety lines, that is too far.
Yeah, you don't want to push yourself so far that you're putting yourself in danger. That's where you need to that's why I went to the psych ward. I went to the mental hospital earlier this year because I was pushing myself so far. I was taking risks. I was making really risky social decisions, and I didn't like where it was going. So I called in to 988 and I just told them that I didn't feel safe, and they 5150'd me. I pretty much went there voluntarily. But I stayed in the mental hospital for like 11 days. And it was pretty tough. That I don't really want to get into it kind of put me grounded in the moment, but there were some issues there. There was like other patients were like really prodding me for my, childhood secrets. I think it's because when you're going into an environment where there's like a therapeutic environment.
The good thing is that you are aware of it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's worse things to be. I used to be oblivious. When I was younger, I had avoided all my transition stuff because I thought that I was too afraid. I didn't want to be a trans person. I was too afraid. And, you kind of see what's going on with like the public perception of trans people. And this was like 15 years ago. Like things were a lot worse for trans people like 15 years ago, socially. I wasn't strong enough to come out as trans person back then. I was too afraid of it. I wanted to run away from it. And so I ran away, and I was really toxic. I don't like talking about my past, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. But, when you're in a mental hospital, it kind of feels like you're in a therapeutic environment, and you are protected, legally from you're not in public. So it's not like it was the end of the world that I was sharing some deep, dark secrets. Everybody has their deep, dark secrets. I'm not special. And also, I don't really think I think I judge myself more than other people would. But it doesn't mean I have to, share it with the world. Everybody has their childhood, that you make mistakes and you learn from them. And I learned from them, and I literally changed my entire gender. Like, I don't have a wiener anymore. I feel like a completely different person, and it's a little scary, and that's why I kind of feel overwhelmed lately. I'm scared because there's this whole new world in front of me, and I don't really know who I am anymore. But that's where the small things come in. At least I can enjoy the day, enjoying the small things. And then, the not so small things, like going back to school to take acting classes again. The reason I went to the mental hospital was because I got a little bit overwhelmed, and I pushed myself to a place where I was making risky decisions. I went a little bit, I let go of the need to, go slow, and I kept pushing myself, but then I started making risky decisions. And so I had to take a little bit of a step back. the acting class kind of started me on a path towards opening up and like pushing myself socially. And I went a little bit too far. But then, you know, I didn't actually go too far. I took a step back when I needed to, because I'm really responsible. And now I'm ready to go back in and hopefully make some new friends again, and hopefully build some skills, and maybe I can get a part in a play, you know, and be a part of the community and really enjoy the process. I like the process. I like being a performer. I don't like having performed. Like, the end of a performance is kind of empty. Like, you finish it and then you're like, well, now what? I guess I'm just going to go twiddle my thumbs. That's why I have trouble ending the stream right now. Like, I want to keep streaming, but I need to go. So I really appreciate your support, and I love these conversations. I love talking about these things. It helps me achieve these things. Like, I'm actively documenting what I'm doing as I do it. That's like really powerful. It helps me stay motivated to change, and it also potentially provides values for other people. So at the end of the day, like, I just need to keep trying, and that's what I'm doing. So, like, I'm not doing anything wrong. It just feels a little bit empty. And that can feel a little bit overwhelming. But anyway, bye-bye.